Howdy, everybody. My name is Tristan Dumas. I'm presenting for the Protostomes. I'm presenting tapeworms, or their scientific name Tinea solium saginata. The difference between solium saginata is depending on which food they reside in. Solium is pork, I believe, and saginata is beef. But yeah, so their status in the wild, tapeworms, their habitat is mostly worldwide. They sort of sit in raw and unprocessed foods. So in areas with like poor sanitation and not well cooking, they'll probably be most apparent. But they are found worldwide. They sit in people's digestive tracts, so like their liver, intestine, and that is what their food source is comprised of, is the foods that the hosts eat. So when you eat, like, for example, a sandwich, and you have a tapeworm living within like your small intestine, it's going to latch on and it's going to suck those nutrients away from that sandwich that you're eating and it's digesting in your stomach. So its food source is the ingested foods that you take in, and it's not just us, it applies to dogs, cats, animals, all vertebrates, and some invertebrates. Their environmental relationships, they are parasitic. So their predator prey situation is that they're parasites. They affect other organisms in a harmful way just so they can gain. So they infect anything that consumes meat or fish, and anything that is a vertebrate or is an invertebrate. So their phylogeny and evolution. The unique traits of a tapeworm is that they have teeth. It's called the scolex, and they're little bear scruffs as well. They latch onto the intestine surface, like I said earlier, and then that's where they suck all the nutrients up. They have elongated bodies, so they aren't as small enough to get rid of. They don't have digestive tracts, like they don't have any kind of gas exchange complex. It's mostly just absorbing those nutrients. And also, they have so many offspring. They have about like 400,000, I think. They lay it within their host so that if they do die, um, they have the larvae. And also, they are hermaphroditic, so they have both female and male reproductive parts, and their reproduction cycle is a bit complex. But tapeworms, like I said, are protostomes, and protostomes, their blastophore develops from the mouth. So they're located in the Lophotrochozoa clade. It's a clade where you either have a lophophore or a trochophore, and they're a part of the phylum Platyhelminths, which are usually known as flatworms. Um, and yeah, so their ecological role, they are parasitic, like I said. They have no beneficial purpose other than infecting certain invertebrates and vertebrates and taking up those nutrients from the host and depriving them of those nutrients. Some cases, people don't know that they have a tapeworm and they're ingesting the food that they're taking in, but they aren't getting fully full, and it can go unnoticed. Sometimes it cannot harm you until, later on when you're not getting all the nutrients you need, and then you kind of you're weaker than you usually are. But a fun fact is that some people do have a tapeworm diet and they ingest the tapeworm. They let it sit in their stomach, take all the food just so they can lose weight. It was a really popular practice back in the day, but nowadays people are usually more moral about it. But it's still something that people do to lose weight, because sometimes it may not be pathogenic, so it may not affect, like, harm you that bad. But those are tapeworms, and here are my sources. Thank you.